Hello, Grace 242. Pastor Bill coming to you from the Grace 242 office. I have spent the past several days coming up with a plan for us as a church while we fight this COVID-19 crisis. Even though the culture has given us the instructions to distance ourselves from one another and go into isolation to protect one another, we do not feel that those instructions have to conflict with us living into our core value of being a relational church. We do not feel like the instructions to isolate ourselves have to conflict or prevent us from being the church together throughout this crisis. In fact, we see a great opportunity for us to be the Church of Jesus through this crisis. My plan for our church boils down to the words house churches. There are two options for these house churches. One will be a virtual house church and the other will be an in-person house church. Because we want to make sure that we follow the guidelines and distance ourselves from one another, and because we want to make sure that we do not infect one another, naturally, most of you will fall into the virtual house church category. We are going to be releasing a sign-up that goes on the Grace 242 website, on the Grace 242 Facebook page, and many of you will receive texts and emails with links to the sign-up. The sign-up will help filter you into your appropriate house church. There are several health screening questions that will determine whether or not you are eligible for an in-person house church or if you need to go to a virtual house church. Then beginning this coming Sunday at our normal worship time of 9:30 a.m., you will go to your in-person house church or log in using a free program called Zoom to your virtual house church. There will be 4 elements to our simple service that we will host at our house churches. Those 4 elements are: first, a time of sharing where we can connect with one another and bear with one another as we walk through this crisis together. The second element is that you will be reminded by your house church leader about offering. For virtual house churches, there is an online giving option on the Grace 242 website. For in-person house churches, they will collect the offering and make sure that it gets to our church treasurer. The third element is a message video that I will upload to our Grace 242 YouTube page. You will all watch the message video, and then the fourth element of these services is that you as a house church will take time to pray with one another. Certainly there's lots of flexibility with how this could look in each respective house church, but the services will include those 4 elements. Thank you, Grace 242, for being the church through this crisis, for rolling with the punches, and having grace as we try our best to be the community of Jesus followers as we wait out this COVID-19. We do not have to live in fear, and we feel like meeting as house churches, even though if it's virtual, is still a way that we can be the church together.